Hello, welcome to another Ultra Confusion Hangout. I am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific cover himself, Zelius.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you're impressed that all my comments were not on Thursday this week.
Very impressed. I
I
am
was fully
absolutely
on the ball,
100% impressed.
got them all done on Wednesday.
One day before the Hangout.
One of these days, maybe I'll even spread them out over the week like a normal human being.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so I want to go over a couple quick things here. This week was the GGDA Hangout. That's the Georgia Game Developer Association Hangout in Atlanta. This month, it happened at Turner Studios. We were privileged in getting to see some of the head honchos behind Giant Studios, which is actually kind of like an animation um, company that it was in LA, is now moving back to Georgia. They did a lot of they helped a lot on Avatar. They've done a lot of like crazy ass stuff. Let's just put it that way. Um, and then of course with Turner Studios, which is behind all of the CGI for most of the shows that show on Cartoon Network or any of the Turner stuff. They do a lot of the promo um, CGI like commercials for the NBA playoffs, for the All-Star game, all that stuff. And then we also got to listen to the audio, the head of the audio department at Turner Studios. I'm going to say this. I apologize for all those who are hoping for a video. I was
As we're
told
in a video right now.
no, a video of the GGDA meetup. At
Ah,
the
yes.
last minute, I was told because of the wide variety of groups that are represented there, there was no way that Turner's legal department was gonna be able to give me permission to video it
Gotcha.
because there was a lot of like clips and stuff.
Hmm.
Turner Studios also did all of the animation for Clone Wars,
Hmm.
the TV show,
Yep.
not the whatever.
Which I heard was really good, actually.
Yeah, it is. It is apparently, from my understanding, I've only watched a couple episodes, but they were very well done. Anyways, so there was no video of that, and I completely apologize for the lack of video. I really wish I could have videotaped it, but at the same time, I'm going to be honest with you. The person from Giant Studios and like the head art design guy for Turner Studios, it was a look how cool our shit is
But it
show.
was pretty cool, though, wasn't it? At
It
least.
was cool, but at the same time, when I go to a meetup that has a specific topic that they want to, they're trying to help educate the Georgia Game Developer Association members.
Yep.
It's not really an education. The only education you got is they make cool shit, and there's no chance in hell you're going to be working for them.
Oh, wow. Very uplifting and happy sounding.
Uh, but I do have to say that the audio guy was very helpful. He actually talked about the excitement about helping create games that are going to have for the standard surround sound instead of just stereo. And he was talking about he apparently has some kind of impressive surround sound rig
Okay.
for his PlayStation 3, and he says it's phenomenal. So pretty
I
freaking cool.
have a soundbar for my Xbox.
Yes, I do not have any of that.
That's the extent of my audio. Is my soundbar. Well,
Okay.
when I got my TV, I got like a crappy $400 TV, and the visual's fine because I don't Blu-ray or anything cool like that.
Mhm.
But the speaker within a week was doing the whole like rattling thing inside the TV.
Fantastic.
I'm like, okay, it's probably time to get an actual. And I live in an apartment, so
Hmm.
the idea of getting a real surround sound with the bass and the thump 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 probably would not have ended well. So I'm
No,
like, okay,
the subwoofer alone would cause people to be knocking on your door.
exactly. So
I
I
learned
kind of took
that
a
one
little
from my time in Orlando.
nice.
Um,
See, I actually like my neighbors, so I want
yeah.
to keep.
Well, okay. So a couple of other quick things from the Georgia Game Developer Association meeting. For those of you in Atlanta, next week is the IGDA meetup. It's going to be at the Dave and Buster's in Roswell.
Oh my gosh, I've
or
been there in like
maybe
forever.
Marietta. I can't remember if it's Roswell or Marietta, but it's above the city. Um, the next GGDA meetup is going to be June 11th at DeVry. They're going to their talk is going to be about making money on web games. And this is just kind of I really need to do this. After the hangout, Charlie is going to submit a speaker application for Siege.
Whoa, whoa!
That's right. The destruction of the game industry as we know it.
Because it is surely coming to an end as we
Yes.
speak.
Okay, so real quick, one of the awesome things that I got to see when I was at the GGDA meetup was the next project from a company called Secret Library. Secret Library first came out with a game, I believe it's called Centrifuge. It was a multiplayer game. It was good, but the problem was to really excel, you needed 4 people to be playing on one iPad. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have like 3 other people who want to constantly play multiplayer games simultaneously on an iPad, so it really didn't work for me. Their next game,
Yeah.
of course, is a game called Cool Pizza. I asked one of the creators if there's actually any pizza in the game, and he said, I can't tell you that. So, because I've been playing the shit out of that game, and I have still yet to see any pizza.
Where's
Uh,
my pizza, damn it?
I'm having a bad feeling it's going to be like a Portal thing. Like, the cake is a lie, but this
Oh,
time it's the
no, you
pizza.
gave away the whole plot of Portal.
I'm sorry. If
You
you haven't
bastard.
figured that out by now that Portal 2 has been out for like a year, you've been living under a rock.
But it's a damn fine rock I live under.
Indeed, indeed. Well, so their newest game is called Hot Mess. It's still got a ways to go, but basically you're a malfunctioning firefighting robot who mistakes the fiery, passionate embrace of couples as actual fires. So you try to extinguish their burning love. As I stated on the website, right now this would not go in the App Store simply because this is mature content. The couples are completely nude. I mean, you can't see anything, but still, nude couples running around and you're hosing them down. That's probably not going to get past the security board.
Oh, there goes my idea.
I'm sorry. So, anyways, okay, so let's get into the regular scheduled Google Hangout. Zelius. Now,
Wasn't technically talking about your like gaming happenings for last week, like part of a regular scheduled hangout nowadays?
touche, touche. Okay, so fine. Here's some of the other games I've been playing. There is a game called Dragons and Puzzles. It is a free-to-play MMO. Well, it's online. Okay, it's not really an MMO.
So
It's
many
kind of
games like get called like MMOs,
yeah.
but like kind of
Well,
that fine line, like is it MMO or isn't it
well, no,
MMO?
technically it is because it's a massive multiplayer online game. You have to
Yes.
have you have to have a 3G connection. Um, you gain creatures, dragons and different creatures that you add to your army, and you try to um, make 3 or more matches on this little bottom of the screen that's got a bunch of gems. And if you do like a bunch of fire gems together, then your fire monster attacks the monsters at the top of the screen. It plays like Puzzle Quest. Um,
Ooh,
Now, of
there's my
course, they are making hand over fist, yeah, money on this game, uh, but the game is free.
yes.
So people are buying the little like magic gems to help them play.
Ah, so your
And
microtransaction models
yes,
in.
absolutely. And they've made a shit ton of money in a very short amount of time. It is, it does have that social media ticker on it. So when you go into a dungeon, you're going to be using what's called stamina points, and that can
Mhm.
be anywhere from like 3 stamina, or excuse me, 0 stamina to 25.
Okay,
25 being the maximum you have.
interesting.
Hmm.
So have you actually bought any money or paid money to play the game?
I
Okay.
did. Um, I felt like I wanted to spend a little bit to see if I could get a rare creature because what happens is so After you complete a specific area, you'll get a magic gem. And then you can use it either to continue your game if you die during one of the progressions.
Hmm.
It will just start you from where you left off and then give you full health. Or you can use it in the creature store, and you can get a rare creature to add to your party.
Okay.
There's also PAL points. Basically, you enlist the help of other gamers to join you to help add their bonuses to you. So, well, it's really their main monsters' bonuses to you for the duration of a level. And if
Which
you
we all
game,
love to do.
huh?
Which we all love to do, get our gamer friends to
Oh yeah,
help us out in games.
right. But the beautiful thing is there's two levels. You've got the friends, which gives you 10 points, but then you've got to wait like I think it's like 7 hours before you get to use them again. Or
Okay.
you can use explorers, which are individuals who are playing the game who aren't on your friends list. I think you can have a maximum of 25 friends,
Hmm.
but you can continue to use explorers, and those explorers give you 5 points instead of 10. And every single time you get 200 PAL points, you can go to the monster store and try to buy creatures that way as well. There's also a fusing mechanic in there where you can combine a bunch of creatures to help power up one of the creatures you have in your party to help them either just level up to make them stronger, HP, attack, defense, all that stuff, or you get to a point where you actually evolve your creature, which you'll need specific types of creatures to evolve your monster into its next form.
Yippee.
So it is very well done.
What device is this on?
iOS.
Okay.
My only issue is that you cannot go from one area to the next area to the next area to the next area to the next area because the difficulty ramps up really freaking quick. So you're gonna have some like grinding that you're gonna have to do, and like collecting of like piece of crap monsters to add to your main monsters to help level them up so that they can be more powerful.
Right on.
So
So one game I've been playing this week, it's a actual open beta game right now. It's by a company called Perfect World. They brought other MMOs such as Star Trek Online, and they're actually the parent company of Runic, who brought us our lovely games of Torchlight 1 and 2. I don't think Forsaken World really had a lot to do with Torchlight. They just were kind of the publishing company.
right.
Anyways, so Neverwinter, it's a Dungeons and Dragons based game. So you have like your feats and your classes and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of the switch on this game is for your combat is it's kind of reticle based combat. So like when you're moving your cursor, you have like your little reticle in the middle of the screen. So when you move your mouse around, you just target the baddies that way. So most MMOs you kind of click on a target. That's like the one guy that you have targeted, and then you cast your spell.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one, I mean, yes, you put your reticle over a NPC, and obviously you kind of have them targeted. You can tell because it usually turns red or something, but you don't have to click or anything. Well, you click to cast your spell. So you use like your left and right button, kind of like Torchlight,
Mm-hmm.
kind of for your main two spells. And then you also use like Q, E, R, 1 and 2, and Tab to cast other spells too. I'm pretty early in the game. I'm only like level 7 right now with my control wizard, as it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, it's a pretty enjoyable game. The other thing that they have going for too, which they've done on Star Trek Online, and I think also City of Heroes, is user-generated content. So you go to like the bounty board, and you can play user-generated quest. Now, of course, one of the big complaints against user-generated quest is you can also game the system. I can create the easiest, gaming content in the world for my friend to go play, to level them up instantly.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? With the proliferation of free-to-play MMOs, where you can kind of pay to win in most instances anyways, it doesn't really bother me. I'm like, if I'm going to play user-generated content, guess what? I'm going to play ones that have challenges and are somewhat fun at least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be interested in doing like the farming style ones where it just gives me 5 billion experience for killing one character. So as far as that whole argument of like, oh, people can now game the system for their friends, Well, I don't really care. I mean, when you come to MMOs, guess what? You're always going to have D-bags to play with.
Oh, of course.
You're always going to have that kind of system. You're always going to have bots, and you can always go buy a character, at level 60. So the whole thing of like, oh, you can game the system with user-generated content. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Whatever. One of the big things a lot of MMOs is new, different content. And a lot of the user-generated content that's looking at, it's quest, anywhere from 15 minutes to who knows how long.
Right.
You can create kind of quest chains. So each one could be an hour long with 7 different chapters. Well, there's 7 hours worth of gameplay right there that you're not really even paying for.
So wait, so the user-generated quest, can they chain the quest together?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, like, if you look like at a quest, so like it's called like the Black Cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
Step 1 might be.
Oh, that was a great book. Keep going. Sorry.
So, step 1 might be finding the cauldron. Step 2 might be building the fire for the cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like if you click on the main one, so some are just a one-step quest,
mm-hmm.
and then some have multiple acts, I think is what they call it in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you have the rating system, so you have like a 5-star rating system. And then you can also read user reviews of the content. But then there's also the content ender already put in the game by Perfect World. So it's not like you're relying just on user-generated content. You also have the built-in quest system too, which so far is pretty lame. Then again, most MMOs really are pretty lame as far as the storyline goes anyways.
Right.
So, as far as the storyline goes, I'm like, okay, it's a medieval territory. I'm sure there's some big, bad, evil warlord out there or something. So far I'm pretty early in the game. I think like level 10, you get your tab skill, which I know, like, for instance, the thief, they call it like the trickery thief or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like level 10, I know theirs is the stealth, for instance.
Mm-hmm. So
it seems like kind of like level 10 is kind of get like, ooh, special ability. Level 30, I think you get they call it the paradigm thing, and that's where you kind of like actually split with your 3 different kind of paths you can take.
Mm-hmm.
So like the wizard, you can be like control, single target damage, or AoE. So you kind of have like what progression do you want to take. So far it's pretty cool. It's open beta, so I don't know how much time I'm going to invest in the game before it comes out. But seeing it's free to play, I'll definitely play it when it comes out because, hey, it's free, why not?
Yep.
The one obnoxious thing, well, I don't know if obnoxious is the right word, but it'd be interesting to see how they deal with it because they can still buy stuff in-game in open beta. So to me as a game player, I'm like, why am I buying a bunch of like in-game items in open beta? So I don't know how that is. The other thing, too, is a game I haven't played in a couple of months, but Rift, it's one of those subscription-based games that's kind of held out on going free to play. But I think it's June 12th, maybe it's the official date. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly. But they're going free to play also. So another MMO is going free to play. Rift, they say they're not changing a lot. I looked at some of the reward benefits of being a subscriber. Things, the usual things like the number of character slots, the number of bags you can have, mount speed.
How about specialized areas? I know that was big.
Reading the stuff, no, I don't think so because it looks like what they have is they kind of, when I was looking at the thing, they have the Storm Legion and then they have like a regular person. So it looks like if you bought Storm Legion, which is the expansion, then you have access to all that territory.
Gotcha.
It seems like I know Dungeons and Dragons Online is big about having to buy content. Like, it's not a new quest comes out and they want you to buy that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you can get your turbine points to unlock that zone, but they log zones initially, but you kind of have to work for it either through grinding or to buy it.
Right, through the subscription.
Exactly.
If I remember right, DDO has a specific one city that you can't get into unless you're a subscriber.
Yeah. So I don't think Rift is doing that. I think they're just doing basically you're a subscriber or not. If you're not, then you can buy certain things. And I don't know the details of what you can buy in game. I'll be interested to see because, like, if I ever go back, I have like 8 characters, and I know a lot of people I played with. They had a top level character for each of the 4 different classes.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, then they had all their banks and mules to hold all their crap in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be kind of curious to see how, it's easy if it's free to play from the beginning, because then, well, yeah, you have 2 character slots. If you want to buy more, it's a flat rate.
Right.
Usually $5, whatever. Whereas a game like Rift, where you have 8 characters that you've had for 3 years now, well, what's going to happen to those old characters?
Right.
If you don't purchase a subscription. So I'm not too worried about it. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to Rift. I don't see myself really going back to it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of moved on to other games since then. I'm not saying never, but who knows? I know some of the big kind of producers of Storm Legion also kind of left too, so it's kind of like, how much longer is Rift really going to last anyways?
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I've been up to, is really playing Neverwinter. I was out of town most of the week as my family was in town. So, woo, family stuff. Playing, actually, cards at the casino for
there you go.
Way too long.
Going to a casino, it's always way too long at the end of the day. I mean,
touche.
There's not really oh yeah, we just jumped in, we hopped in real quick and came out. That doesn't happen at casino.
Yeah, you gotta spend a few hours there. It's kind of like the rule.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we're basically at the midway point of this wonderful Google Hangout. So let's see. We've already covered basically the games we've been playing. I am still dying to get my hands on a couple of games. I think I'm going to break down. I'm going to buy the Tomb Raider game. I know it's been out for a while, but I've heard nothing but awesomeness about Tomb Raider. So
same. I've heard great reviews. Fun
probably going to end up getting it. I actually, for the first time in a long time, actually played one of the GameFly games that's been sitting at my house forever. I know, Lollipop Chainsaw. I beat it, and everyone's like, "Well, where the hell's the review?" It's in here still. I literally I started to like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write the review. I opened up the little editor, I put the title, Lollipop Chainsaw Review, and that's it. That's all I've got to do.
Oh no.
So and then also, if you tuned in last week or you watched the video, you may have noticed that I revealed a comic idea, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna go for this. I haven't touched that since last week either.
No!
But have no fear. I do have some story ideas that I want to flesh out, and then we'll go from there. So it's not dead, but you're probably not going to see it on the website for a little bit longer, because I want to actually make a couple episodes before I actually post it. So I'm not constantly like, oh shit, I gotta post. Okay, type this here, draw this over here. This really doesn't go with that. Erase that. Oh shit, it's been 45 minutes and I've got to do like X, Y, and Z. No, I'm gonna try to build a buffer, and I'm gonna try to keep that buffer, which is, I've done it before where I've built a buffer and then lost everything. That's happened before with the comics. So let's hope that I can continue to stay ahead of the curve.
Right on. I hear you.
Let's see here. What else? We are, what is it, the 16th? We are within 5 days of getting to learn the awesomeness, the magic, the mystique of the latest Xbox console, which they are now going to call Xbox Infinity.
Is that still just a rumor, or is it official?
It's officially called Xbox Infinity.
Originally a guy in Reddit actually came up with the logo, like exactly as IGN and everybody else advertised it.
Yeah. So the Xbox Infinity will be revealed on the 21st of this month.
I really hope Xbox is like, joke's on you, that's not the real name. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty funny.
That would be.
We're going to call it the Xbox 361.
Oh my God, no. Just call it the 720, okay? Just call it the 720, call it a day.
There's one name I won't know it won't be called.
Project Durango?
That or the Xbox 3.
Oh, God, no. Oh, God. That'd be stupid.
Honestly, because you got the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 and Xbox 3, even though they'd really kind of be the same, people here would be like, oh, PlayStation 4 must be better because it's a 4 and the Xbox is only a 3.
No, the marketing
They would
department would
have.
get shot.
What?
They absolutely get shot if they's like, oh yeah, it's the Xbox 3, man.
The PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're pretty original too with their naming.
Yeah, but if they were to go with that that numbering scheme, they would have made the 360 the Xbox 2. They're not
Well,
going
at
to
the
just,
time, it sounded cool.
well, fine. How about this? They're going to call it the Xbox III. Just throw the Roman
Just like
numerals in
that.
there.
It's not the Xbox 3, it's the Xbox I like it.
The Xbox ah.
The Xbox I tripled.
The triple I. The I cube, man.
The I to the Q.
Uh, what was I reading the other day? Basically, I was reading an article, and I want your opinion on this real quick. The basically the mastermind behind Zelda and Mario has basically come out and said the Wii U is just going to take a little bit of time to find that niche, but when it does, it's going to be awesome. Your thoughts, Elias?
They've they've missed their chance. They really have. You know, people. The Wii came out originally,
Mm-hmm.
and it came out. It was like, dude, motion controllers. We can bowl and play table tennis. This is rad. You know, my parents went out. They bought it. I know other people over the age of like 40 bought it who didn't care about game consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, they didn't collect dust for the last 3 or 4 years. But anyways, they went out and they bought those consoles. It was exciting. It was new. It was revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
They had something crazy up on, you know, the Xbox and the PlayStation, which were just gaming consoles with a control. That's lame. And then the Wii U came out. And it's like, who cares about a console with a little gooey thing? Yeah, whatever. It's lame. Nobody cared. It was like, it's like, did the Wii U really come out if nobody heard about it?
Right.
And, you know, and now you got the PlayStation 4, you got the Xbox Infinity Squared coming out, and it's like, they've already missed, like, now that those are coming out, that's going to kill any potential momentum that the Wii U could have had. Like, I don't think there's any way for Nintendo to grab that momentum back with that console generation. I just think they missed it. I don't know how they can steal it from the Xbox and the PlayStation now.
I agree. I think, well, to be honest with you, I don't know if they're going to be able to gain the momentum back. I mean, the Wii came out strong because it was innovative. You had this new control scheme. You could move, and the controller could kind of pick it up. And then, of course, they increased it with the Wii Motion Plus. And everyone's like, "Oh man, it's so cool! It's so crazy! You know, it's so different." And now they come out with basically a second iteration of it, which basically, not basically, it uses the same fucking controllers, but it adds the Wii Pad, which, okay, talk about naming stupidity here. First of all, the Nintendo Wii, it sounds like you're playing with your penis, okay? Oh, I'm going to go home and play with my Nintendo Wii. It sounds like a Nintendo branded penis. Then you've got the Wii Pad. Now it's like I immediately go, okay, this is something that someone's going to pee on.
But it's like, Wii!
No, okay, so but
Pad.
look, if the Wii U was to have gained any traction, in my personal opinion, what they would have had to do is they needed from day one the ability to have 4 Wii Pads functionality on that system. To
Okay,
save
here's one more follow-up question.
yes,
How much does a Wii Pad cost?
I don't know. I think it's $100.
Yeah, exactly, and I know they're not cheap. So now, if you're going to talk, okay, then we know that Wii consoles
Mm-hmm.
usually aren't that expensive compared to your PlayStation, and
Right.
Xbox. That's a good
Right.
thing.
Uh-huh.
But now, if you're talking about the Wii Pad, and now you're talking about buying 4 of them, ooh, daddy.
No, but the thing is, I'm not saying that you have to buy the 4 Wii Pads, but I'm thinking to myself, there should be the option because you can have 4 Wii Motes and 4 Wii nunchucks connected to your Wii Mote.
Did you buy a Wii U?
No.
That's all you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie did not buy the Wii U. It's bad news.
Well, look, here's the deal. They are they basically have the online functionality of the 360 and the PlayStation 3, which I hate to break it to y'all, but it's like over 6 years old. That functionality is so fucking old.
Hmm.
You couple that with they continue to use last generation controls, with the exception of allowing for one Wii pad, which, to be honest with you, is not all that impressive in my opinion. Like I said, I want if you're gonna put this new object or this new peripheral on the new system, go completely balls to the wall. Allow the ability to have four of them. Because right now, if they had the functionality of four Wii pads, and Nintendo came out with like a Zelda adventure game where you can, it's basically Zelda Legend of the Four Swords, which was basically you all had to have a Game Boy Advance hooked into the GameCube, but this time it's a Wii pad that has some like fucking amazing power in it. Oh my god, that would be awesome. That would sell like hotcakes. And for Nintendo to go out, no, we're only going to allow one Wii pad per system, but one day we'll allow two. I mean, I understand there is some functionality. There's probably some coding issues behind it because, from my understanding, you can actually kind of play a game that's in your Wii U on the Wii pad without actually utilizing the TV, which is an awesome concept. But at the same time, you're still only playing with one person. I mean, if you
Well, it kind of goes back even then. It goes back to the idea of the portable gaming device in a way.
right,
And it's like, why do I need a portable Wii U, which is probably, I'm guessing, going to be a gimped version
yep,
of what you play in the real console itself? When guess what? 5 feet away from me, how many people now have a iPad with full functionality as far as the full functionality of these games go?
no, I'm from my understanding, you still have full functionality on the Wii pad as long as you have the game in the Wii U. You just don't. So it's basically like that concept of being able to play it on the TV, and then let's say that, um, let's be honest, this is a very likely scenario. You've got to take a dump, and you want to continue your game. You could play it on. You could continue to play it on the Wii U or the Wii pad while you're in the restroom, and not miss a beat. But the thing is, with the iPad, certain games you have the functionality of having like 8 people playing on iPads at the same time in a real time strategy environment where if you switch over to that Wii pad, first of all, you can no, from my understanding, you can no longer use the Wii Mote. You'll have to do like touchscreen controls. And on top of that, or coupled with that, since you've got to rely on just the pad, if it's a multiplayer game that's, you know, a hot seat multiplayer game, man, that's an old term.
Yeah.
I know, a hot seat multiplayer game. Now it becomes a single player game because you do not have that functionality to allow for four Wii pads to coexist on the same system.
Well, you just sold me on wanting to get a Wii U.
I think I just sold you out of getting a Wii U.
No, I'm waiting for the Xbox Durango to the infinity.
Project Durango.
Yes.
I
'Cause
mean, totally, huh?
I will definitely be keeping my eye out on that.
Yeah.
What I would love to see for a launch release for that is like some extension of the Mass Effect series.
Um, yes, that would be awesome. But I think what we're going to see, and this is just, I have no insider information, Halo 5 is going to be a launch title.
That's going to be their big thing.
That they're going to have Halo 5 as the game that's going to be tied in with everybody because you know it's going to.
That makes sense.
But
I mean, Halo is Xbox.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, I can
It
see
is
that.
Xbox. But I would love to see another Gears of War come out. I mean, that's still Xbox exclusive.
Hmm.
Um, I would love to see. Oh, yeah, I would love to see another Mass Effect.
I'm just
I,
thinking of games that would like sell me. I'm buying it day one.
yeah, yeah. Well, okay,
But for a
so
lot of players, it would be the Halos
oh, absolutely,
and the
no
Call of
doubt.
Duty.
No, Call of Duty.
A lot
But
of people.
no, no.
I'm not
Yes, yes, I
a
agree.
lot
I
of
mean,
people,
I
not me.
no, no. I'm just saying that Call of Duty. Um, I'm in my mind. I'm just trying to think of console exclusive titles. Yes,
Okay,
Call of Duty will definitely drive a lot of people to the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox Infinity, Project Durango, whatever you want to call it. Um, but you still have to have that unique something that that distinguishes this console from that console. And I
I
think
think that's going to be the media-centric abilities of the Xbox.
true,
I think
true.
that's what they're going to try to hang their head on.
Oh, absolutely. But I think that you don't want to forget about the gamers. I mean, this is the gamers are the reason why you're able to have the third generation of the Xbox. If the gamers
True.
didn't support you through the first Xbox and the 360, you wouldn't be around for this round. So I definitely think that we're probably going to see a Halo 5.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, you're right. There's going to be some kind of Call of Duty or Modern Warfare or Black Ops or was it Call of Duty Ghost?
There's so many of them.
There is a ton of them. There's
Recon Ghost.
they're gonna Activision knows what the fuck they're doing. They're gonna have their games
FPS
on.
is at the wazoo.
They're gonna have it across all platforms.
In Madden 2014.
Well, of course, yes. Madden's gonna be there too. I'm trying to think. What's another game that I would be like? I'm looking around. Ooh, I would love another Bioshock.
Mm.
That'd be kind of cool. Or oh man,
Red Dead Redemption.
uh, no,
Eh,
it was a little too big for me.
you would
There,
like the game, but it's not going to be a selling point.
right, absolutely.
Okay.
I actually would like to see what kind of support um, the marketplaces are going to have. Because
You
I
know what I
would
mean?
not be surprised that for smaller companies to be loading up on one or the other and have some like like Castle Crasher esque level of popularity game appear on the 360, which you know
And I think it'd be interesting to see if they ever try to like make inroads on strategy games on the consoles. Because you don't really see like the civil. I know it's hard to do. It's harder to do on the consoles
well
like,
because
without the
with
keyboard and
those
mouse.
you need two forms of input. You need the keyboard and you need the mouse, and that's
I know,
damn
but
near
that's why
impossible.
you got really smart people figuring out this stuff. You think they figure out it? I mean, think about it. 6 years ago, this whole idea of the Nintendo Wii was like, whoa, revolutionary. So I don't know. There's got to be something. I don't know. You got really smart people in positions. You think I don't know. You know what I'm saying though? To figure out something to make those kind of games work on the console.
Right, but at the same time, a lot of the strategy game makers are going to immediately look at Halo Wars, and let's be honest, Halo Wars, when it was pushed to the console, is the main reason why Ensemble Studios is not around today
I don't know what
because
Halo is.
it's a real time strategy game featuring all the Halo
Gotcha.
vehicles and characters and stuff.
Okay.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Mm,
Like with the majority of the strategy games, you have, the ability to basically click and drag over a specific, number of units, and you
yeah.
can assign them like squad ones, two, three, four, five. Now, let's say that you could have the ability of selecting all the units that are currently on your screen. That's your squad. You can move them around, and then let's say that you've got a squad somewhere else. Well, you're going to have to try to go straight across the map, then hit this magic button to select all those guys and go, okay, now move over here. Then you got to go all the way back over the map to those guys that you already set going, and hopefully you can keep the screen around all of them and hit that button to select them all.
But it's also in terms of manageability of your resources. For instance, take Civilization 5 and what they did to unit resources. And did you ever play Civ 5?
I have it on my laptop, but I don't remember if I actually played it or not.
Okay. Do you know how Civ, previous incarnations of Civ,
Uh-huh.
was the biggest thing in warfare was the stacks of loot.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
can't do
there's
that.
stacks of like 50 mechanical infantry and like 20 bombers, and you just like blitzkrieg the hell out of your enemies, right?
You can't do that in 5, though, right?
Exactly. You have one unit per square. But the other thing that also does, it's kind of a more, I wouldn't say easier, but it's a much more efficient way to manage your resources
Right,
using that method.
right.
So kind of the same way of maybe thinking about how the user interacts with real-time strategy games in a completely different revolutionary way we haven't thought of. Because when Civilization, when they originally changed, the one stack unit in Civ 5,
Hmm.
everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this is insane! You people are nuts!" And now
Well,
most people are like, "Okay, this actually worked out pretty damn well." So maybe we need to think about how to interact in RTSs, or maybe a different variation of RTSs that aren't revolving around basically clicks per minute, because really that's what RTSs revolve around,
right.
is how fast can you click the damn mouse.
Hmm. Hmm.
So maybe we need to think about strategy games in a different way than just how fast can you click a mouse. Maybe there's a better way or a different way of interacting with strategy games.
I think there's the potential of having strategy games appear on consoles and for there to be a different way to handle controlling your units and stuff. But I think that that is a scary, very, very thin, very, very fragile line that not many people are going to be willing to walk. I think, to be honest with you, I think in my opinion, to truly make a real-time strategy game work, you're going to have to eliminate the controller. You're going to have to use motion controls. It's going to be Minority Report. I mean, really, because once you remove the controller, then you can be able to navigate with
Manipulate the
one
screen.
hand and use the other hand as basically your pointer,
Mhm.
and you'll be able to with different hand motions and gestures you'll be able to do that. But the problem is, first of all, you're going to have a powerful enough camera that's going to be able to capture all of those small little movements. Uh, of course, one of the main issues that they've had in the past is lighting in the room. Uh, is it going to work in a dimly lit room or one that's like completely whitewashed?
Yeah.
Um, the other thing is how close,
Infrared, come on.
huh?
Infrared camera, problem solved.
Okay, fine, well, the other thing that you're going to run into when you use motion controls is the fact that you need a specific amount of space. Is
Ugh.
there a way to conquer that need to have the 12 or 20 feet from the TV without losing the precision that you're going to need?
But you think about it, how long ago was like, think about hard drive space.
Right.
Oh, in order to have more than 100 gigabytes of space, you need a room full of disk drives.
Hmm.
And look at us now. So I think,
We're terabytes.
what?
We're at terabytes.
Exactly. So yeah, I think there absolutely are ways. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a technology 5 or 10 years away. I don't know. But maybe we're just thinking about the way we interact with games. Maybe it needs to be revolutionized some. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Virtual reality.
I went for my damn okay, that's what Nintendo needs. They need to go ahead and come out with like
VR.
The Halloween.
Halloween. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that seriously, Nintendo, come up with the damn holodeck, I'll buy it.
Yeah. In a perfect world, and I know that Jesse would probably shoot us both down for this.
All 3D.
Yeah. All 3D all the time.
Our eyes have 3D contacts in them now.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think if I wanted a completely immersive environment, it's for to truly be in the game, I would have to have a game room that has the movable floor, that it's 360 view, where my gestures and my speech are what controls the game. Um, or it could be just like oh my gosh, there is a phenomenal book that I recommend anybody who likes MMOs and potential futuristic writing. You need to check out a book called Ready Player One. Uh, Basically, it fast forwards time to a time where people really don't interact face to face anymore. They all do it in a virtual environment. Everyone has this system called the Oasis. Um, you go to school in a VR environment. You go to the library in VR environment. You play games in the you. It's like Second Life on crack, basically.
The other one to check out if you like that kind of stuff, some good old Neil Stevenson.
Neil Stevenson. I have not
This
read any
one's
Neil
Diamond.
Stevenson. I apologize.
You have not?
No, I've not.
You should read this one's Diamond Age. But
Uh,
you should read Snow. That book actually reminds me a lot of Snow Crash,
mm,
which you should read. I unfortunately dropped mine in the hot tub, and it grew mold, so I kind of had to throw it out.
uh,
Really sad. But Snow Crash, kind of the same idea. It's kind of some futuristic, like immersive virtual reality,
mhm.
and kind of delving into that, and it's really cool. I would highly recommend reading it.
Snow Crash by what's his name again?
Neil Stevenson with a PH.
I always default to the PH because I knew a
Yeah.
Steven when I was growing up. So this like Steven always throws me
No,
for a
not the
loop.
real thing.
Yeah.
Actually, it's been years since I've probably been over 10 years since I've read Snow Crash. I should get that book again. It's really fun.
Speaking of books that I haven't read in a long time, that I'm probably going to have to at some point, I'm going to reread the entire book, Great Book of Amber.
I'm still pissed off at the first edition that I got.
Uh huh.
I lent it to a coworker,
Oh no.
and like he just moved.
Oh no.
I'm like, you asshole! Like that was the Great Book of Amber. Like I read it. Like I don't remember. I read it in Vienna.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you bastard! Like
Yeah.
yes, books. They have sentimental value to me. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
The first edition of A Clash of Kings. I went to a friend,
Oh.
and she moved away.
Oh.
Damn it. Not even A Clash of Kings, the first one, A Game of Thrones. Sorry.
Wow.
And so, like, I get depressed because I have the next three originals. In the first one, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't bring myself to buy the first one over again because it just won't match the other three. I'm like, ah. I know. The things I worry about as a book reader.
Hey, I spent a good chunk of time, basically from fourth grade on, trying to. I once upon a time had a book called the um, the Prydain Chronicles, a
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal series. It's got Taran the Wanderer, uh, the the Horned King, Black Cauldron. Black Cauldron, of course, is the most famous of all the books. But it was basically 7 books sandwiched into one book called the Chronicles of Prydain.
Yep.
Prydain Chronicles, sorry.
Okay.
And that fucking book like disappeared. Like I looked everywhere for it. I looked online. They're like no one knew. Like when you searched for the Prydain Chronicles, it would give you all the separate books like in a box. I'm like, no, 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 no. There is a gray book with a purple slipcover that is this book, and I finally found it. And I pissed off my wife because I went ahead and bought it, and she was going to get it for my anniversary. I was like, "Baby, I had to get it. I found it. I can't wait."
Oh, that's hysterical. Is it by Lloyd Alexander?
Yes, it is.
All right. Damn you. All I need are more books added to my wish list.
It is. It held so much sentimental value to me simply because there's 774 pages,
Mhm.
which I've known that since second grade. Because in second grade there was this poster on the wall, and what you would do is once you finished a very long book, you would put the name of the book and how many pages you read, and of course your name up there. So Chronicles, the Prydain Chronicles, 774 pages. Um, That was basically my claim to fame in second grade because I read the whole damn thing and I was so fucking proud of myself. And then I lost the book.
Ah, man, I'm sorry.
It's
I'd give you
okay.
a hug if I could. Throw a hug.
Thanks, Julius. Thanks. Um, oh gosh. Speaking of books, okay, so I kind of am venturing into the realm of not so much discovered for myself. Um, I have been. There was a book. Many people probably have heard of the. I know this is going to sound really dirty, but I promise you, it's not really all that dirty. It's called Vaginal um, Fantasy Book Club, headed up by Felicia Day, and there's a
Yeah,
bunch of other big name female sci-fi people part of it. They basically they read two books every single month, and they talk about it. One of the books was a book called Solace, or no, yeah, Solace, and I was like, well, it's more girly. There's like some romance in there. There's some sex in there. It's got vampires. It's got werewolves, and I figured, oh, what the hell? I'll give it a shot.
hmm
So I read that one. Then I read the next book. Then I read the next book in the series. And I read the next book in the series.
You just couldn't stop, man.
It's really good. Yes, there are some sexy scenes in there. The female is hooking up with a werewolf, but
It happens.
take it as you want. I mean,
Hey, it happened in Underworld, you know.
it happened in that angsty teen book, Twilight. Yeah, Twilight.
Oh, and don't forget about oh, what's the TV show called?
True
What's
Blood,
the No, this is the one. It's the teen drama version of vampires.
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, which I watch on Netflix way too much.
Oh, Celius! Ah! No, I'm
It's
just
so
kidding.
addicting. You start watching it. It's like, once you get past like the first 5 to 10 episodes, oh my gosh, it's so entertaining.
Dude, there's some stuff on Netflix that I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. What the hell? And then I'm like, why am I watching this? But then I
Yeah,
don't stop until I've run through every single episode they have.
yeah. I've watched some shows and I probably have no business watching,
I ended
but
up
I watch
watching
it anyways. Whatever. I don't
I
care.
ended up watching a TV series called Who the Fuck Did I Marry? And it's basically just every single episode is this poor sap female or male who got married to who they thought was the love of their life, and it turns out the guy was either a serial killer, was a con artist, was a bank robber, was a bigamist, all this shit. I'm just like, oh my god, this is terrible. Okay, next episode.
That's awesome.
Yes, yes.
Guys, I've had that problem with watching. My wife is a serial killer.
I have not watched that.
Oh, you're missing out.
What was the other one I watched? Uh, uh, The Nightmare Next Door, which is about it's like all these murders. Every single episode is talking about murders or a string of murders, and then it ends up being like the least likely suspect who everyone's like, oh yeah, he's an odd bird, or I don't know about that guy, and it turns out to be that fucker right there.
You mean like every crime drama episode of TV where it's the first guy who's interviewed who seems like he's really helping and is completely innocent? He ends up being the killer.
Actually, Zelius, they have changed that formula. It's now the second person they always interview that is the killer.
It gets confusing.
I
I just can't keep track, first or second. I don't know.
I know, I know. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna wrap this up because I don't want to edit a video that's gonna take the freaking ever. I apologize, but
I'll get
Felix
over
and I
it.
will stick around a little bit after this video. But I do want to wrap it up so that those who unfortunately were unable to watch this at our broadcasting time, of course, of 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 7 time. Um,
Hey, you're getting better at least.
uh, Uh, but we want to give you something to watch, so hopefully you will enjoy this video. So we're going to sign off for the video now, and then we'll stick around a little bit for Ustream. But for myself, thank you for tuning in. For myself, Charlie, and Zelius, we'll see you next week.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.